Luka's father upset after the trade was made, sending him to LA in exchange for Anthony Davis, and he had a few things to say, saying that Luka deserved better. Luka Doncic was going to be owed a lot of money this offseason, and the reports are out that the Dallas Mavericks did not want to pay that money, that supermax, due to conditioning concerns. They don't feel like Luka Doncic keeps himself in the best shape. So investing that kind of money for that long, for a player that you feel is not complying with your nutrition thing and things like that. I guess they have a nutrition program or whatever they got going on in Dallas, but they didn't feel that it was worth the investment, basically, if the reports are true, and Luka's father pretty upset about that. So are the Dallas Mavericks fans. You see them outside of the arena on the news. They had caskets and things like that. They're pretty upset about the trade. The GM came out and he said he made the trade because of Anthony Davis. They wanted Anthony Davis because he fits the culture of what they're trying to build right now. And if you look at the Dallas Maverick team, they made the finals last year. You make the finals last year, so you're not that far away, and then you go out, you get Klay Thompson to pair with Luka and Kyrie, and then you at least, some would say at least give it a shot to see how that would go. Dallas doing pretty good this year. You say, hey, see how this goes in a postseason and things like that before you blow it up. But I guess the GM, it's a new regime calling the shots. Mark Cuban, Mark Cuban is not calling the shots anymore. He stepped down on that role. So, the new regime is doing things the way they want to do it. Some will question, hey, would a Mark Cuban would ever make that call? Would he have done that? I don't know. Mark Cuban loves those, the foreign guys, especially when they're the face of the franchise. You had Dirk for some years, and now you have Luka, and who can blame him? Because, as you can see, the fans were passionate about Luka and how the excitement he brought, to the arena and things like that. So, the GM say, hey, they're going in a different direction. Defense. He said the word defense a few times, and Luka's been getting slack in the past about his defense and things like that. He can give you 30, and people say he'll give up 30 and things like that. But regardless to how you slice and dice the pie, they were right there at the forefront of a championship in the finals. Bad conditioning and all. Him and Kyrie. Was there, leading the way. So it's going to be interesting to see, everybody's going to be watching the Dallas Mavericks now to see how this trade's going to do, because you give up a player like Luka for Anthony Davis, who is a great player in himself. Anthony Davis is not a scrub. That's why this trade, is like, it was unbelievable for a lot of people. A lot of people thought it was fake, but a lot of people still trying to wrap their heads around the trade as you get into it, because of you have two star players, being traded, swapped out. You have some other players in there, some draft compensation or whatever. That's years down the line. But you have two players, high caliber players, being traded for each other, essentially. And, you normally see a player, a high caliber player get traded for a lot of draft picks or a bunch of role players in a draft and some draft picks and things like that, So now you have these two players, going to different franchises, and you can slice it up and say, hey, maybe the Lakers, were pretty tired of Anthony Davis himself. LeBron James out there, and they're thinking about, hey, why not just get somebody for the future? Not really trusting Anthony Davis to be the future. Hey, when LeBron leaves, do we really feel comfortable having Anthony Davis as our face of the franchise? Can we trust him with him being in and out of the lineup as well? So now you make a trade for Luka, and maybe he can get his conditioning together Well, LeBron James, one thing about LeBron, man, and he keeps his body in great shape. So maybe some of that'll rub off on him, and maybe this, gets to Luka and make him, want to prove everybody wrong. I can't get his shape. We already know what he's about on the court, in shape or not. He's going to give you buckets. And that's what he's about. That's what he's been doing. So now maybe this may get to him, humble him down a little bit. Hey, I'm traded. He said it himself. He thought he would be there for the rest of his career, his whole career and things like that. With the statue of Dirk maybe out there, that would have probably happened had he stayed there. And it didn't happen. You get traded, especially in this magnitude. There's no nothing goes around. Sometimes those players, the high caliber players, get word and wind, and maybe the organization can kind of trade them to the team that they want, grant their wishes and things like that. But when you're like a player like Luka and none of that happens, they just call a team and just dish you out without you knowing and things, and you thinking, hey, this was my home, especially coming from another country, and this is your first stop, and you make it home, and then now you're in LA. So we're just gonna have to monitor, the situation, man. It's tough. And then for the Dallas Mavericks, you bring in Anthony Davis, so I think people are going to look at right now for them. It's the right now. As you said, you bring them in because they fit what you're trying to do right now. You're in win now mode, and Anthony Davis brings the defense. So I think it's going to be maybe not this year, but next year for sure, because the trade was made mid-season, and you need the chemistry. Anthony Davis is dealing with an injury, so he may not be available as soon as he get to Dallas. So he's going to have to work his way back into the lineup and things like that. But definitely postseason and next season, it's going to be what you're going to do now. Dallas, you traded away Luka. So now all eyes are going to be on the Mavericks to see was it worth it or not, who won the trade. And for the Lakers, it's going to take some time, mainly probably after LeBron gets out of there, to see how that goes, because him and LeBron, I think they can do business and play ball together, but they're ball dominant guys. And I think the main reason for Luka and the Lakers is just to have a star when LeBron leaves, because he already hinted to retirement. And when people say that and it's out there, you don't want to be caught with your pants down, when the announcement comes. So when it's on their mind, it's probably coming soon. So now you got Luka Doncic to carry the torch when LeBron leaves, and that's probably when you can see if that's gonna if the trade worked out for the Lakers, in my opinion, because I think the Lakers need more than just Luka for right now to win a championship. So right now, he fits the mold, is what the GM said. Anthony Davis, a better fit defender and things like that. He has ties with some people in the organization. Him and Kyrie are close, so we'll just have to see, how the trade worked out, because the Dallas Mavericks did initiate the trade. They called the Lakers offering Luka. He said they started off as a small conversation, and then it progressed over time, and towards the end of the deadline, right before they get something done. So now you make the trade. It is out there that you make the trade. You initiated the trade, and now people are going to see, is that the right move? Was it the right move or not? So the pressure's on the Mavericks, and we're just going to be staying tuned, and everybody still got to try to keep their head straight, because it's still on, on spin after this news broke. But Luka Doncic traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and Anthony Davis is now a Dallas Maverick, and we're just going to have to see how it works out for the Dallas Mavericks. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.